Aurora is one of was going to be one of Cleveland's first commuter villages. In the early 1920s, Aurora began to move from being a rural community into a suburban community. And one investor, a gentleman by the name of Alfred Burns Smythe, A.B. Smythe, had the vision of developing part of Aurora into a commuter village where people living in Aurora, especially businessmen, would be able to commute to Cleveland or Akron rather easily. So in the early 1920s, he began to buy up a large tract of land, total close to 950 acres. It approximately went from the corner of Route 82 and 306 east to the Aurora railroad tracks down by the Aurora train station, then southward down 43, basically to Mennonite Road, and then all the way out to Sunny Lake. So it was a large tract of land that they were hoping to develop. Over a 2-year period, Smythe spent about $1 million purchasing properties from local farmers. And farmers were eager to sell, getting in this land boom that was happening in Aurora. So he had no problem doing that. In 1925, there was a meeting held at the Masonic Lodge, which at that time was on the second floor of the town hall. The Masons had that entire area. All the prominent men in Aurora were invited to attend the meeting. And basically Smythe and some of his developers kind of tried to sell the program to him of what they wanted to do. He was intending to build an exclusive community that would offer all kinds of amenities to those people who could afford to buy. You could buy maybe a half-acre lot, acre lot, and he even promised to sell 5-acre, 10-acre, or even up to 25-acre estates for those people who would want to purchase that kind of home in Aurora. So over a period of time, they began to buy that. As part of the selling point of that, it was going to have bridle paths, tennis courts, a walking course, all kinds of amenities. And the way the pamphlet that was written up to it, he kept stressing that this was going to be an exclusive neighborhood. And in the 1920s, that pretty much kind of indicated that he was going to sell only to a special clientele. Basically, from surmising what the advertising was saying, probably Catholics, Jews, blacks would be excluded. It would be, that old saying, an exclusive white Anglo-Saxon Protestant neighborhood for those people who could come to Aurora, feel safe and secure in a commuter village. So they began to develop it as part of the attraction, just like in the old malls that we used to have. You had your anchor stores that were designed to attract people. One of those anchor stores was going to be the Aurora Country Club, which would be eventually an 18-hole course. He hired Bernie Way, a designer and developer of golf courses who had recently developed the Mayfield Country Club. And in 1925, they completed the first 9 holes, and then in 1926, the second 9 holes. There was going to be no initiation fee and no yearly dues. It was going to be a play-to-pay basis. Every time you came out to play around, you'd pay for it at that time. So that was going to be another one of their attractions. Actually, the old country club, before they tore it down, the center portion, there were 2 additions that were put onto it, but the center portion was actually an old cheese warehouse that had been moved from the corner of Route 82 and 306, where the former Sutton Insurance Building was. That's a James Converse Hops and Herd store that's now recognized by Ohio and its marker program. They actually moved that to the location of the country club and used that as the beginning of their country club, with additions being put onto it. So that was going to be one of the things. The other anchor to the development was going to be the Aurora Inn on the corner of Route 82 and 306. That was begun in 1925 when they started to build it. It was approximately on what was formerly 12 acres of the Wallace Lacey farm that A.B. Smythe had purchased. They invested $75,000 in building the original inn, and an additional $25,000 of antiques that would be used to put into the various parts of the inn. It consisted of a ballroom, a dining room, and initially there were 23 guest rooms that were all part of it. What was interesting, in the 1950s, when the Catholic Church was looking for a place to build before they actually became a church on their own, they rented Quinn, the owner of the inn at that time, offered the inn on Sundays for the Catholics to be able to meet. So they had a temporary altar set up in the dining room. And they also were allowed to have confessions there. And oddly enough, confessions were held in the bar behind a screen. So, but that was in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s. But back to the AB development. The unfortunate thing that happened with the development is that this was happening in the 1920s. And it was really beginning to take off until 1929, and then there was the stock market crash. That really cut into it and pretty much put an end into his dreams of being this commuter village. The reason he really wanted to do it is because he had seen Shaker Heights and what the Van Swearingen brothers had done with the transit line, and felt that Aurora, being located on a railroad, would be an ideal place for commuters to be able to get to the railroad station in the morning, go to Cleveland, and come back in the evening. Promised that there were going to be buses to take commuters also, along with paved roads, which were pretty much lacking in Aurora at that period of time. So the stock market pretty much killed that. And it wasn't until after World War II and beginning of the 1950s that with the boom of soldiers coming back from the war, that land sales began to pick up in Aurora again. And eventually lands were bought up by different investors. And over the years then, the Highlands was the first one to be developed, which is along Shawnee and Harmon and Trails End area. More of the land was sold off. It became the allotment. And then eventually Four Seasons, not Four Seasons, but Chatham became part of it. And eventually even part of it was sold off for the Aurora Farms, which had moved from the corner of Route 43 and Mennonite to this current location where the outlets are now located. So all that land, that 950 acres, was eventually bought up and developed into homes.